So quiz 3 is on Canvas. And homework 3 is on WebAssign. Oh, sorry, we're in XYZ homework. I forgot. We do XYZ. Homework.com. Try to keep up with the due dates, but if you ever need more time on any of your assignments, you can send a message to me. Both of these are due on Tuesday, the 21st. Okay, the notes for this homework are all about graphing and the equation of a line. We're graphing lines. Last time we talked about parallel, we're getting to that later. We talked about horizontal lines and vertical lines. So we're going to find the equation of the line. With the following graph. We will go up. Let's go up 3 spaces. And then yes, someone asked about homework. I'll write that down and I'll give more time on that assignment. Sure. Alrighty, back to drawing this horizontal line through the point 0.03. And then find the equation of that line. I'm going to point out a few of the points like this one. Let's say you go over 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces, over 4 for x and y equals 3. Or let's go back this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just any number for x, the y value has to equal 3. So this is x can be any number, y equals 3. And that's how you write that line. You don't have to mention x. Okay, and someone mentioned that they're having trouble with watching the video, but you know, we're recording, so if you need to watch again later, maybe that'll help. Okay, so next one, we're going to find the equation of a line. And we're drawing a new graph. We will go back 2 spaces. And there's a vertical line through x equals -2. So this time you can go to -2 for x and up, let's say you go up 3 for y, and that's one of the points on the line. Yeah, I'll try to speak clearly. Let's try another point. Let's say we go down 4 spaces for y, but x has to go over to -2. So here, this line can have y equal to any number, but the x value has to be at -2. When you write it like this, it's assumed that y can be any number, since it's not even mentioned. So your homework will ask to find x and y intercepts. So your x-intercept and your y-intercept. You get your x-intercept when you put y equal to 0. Find your y-intercept by letting x equal 0. When y equals 0, you'll continue to solve for x. If x equals 0, solve for y. Find the x and y intercepts of y equals -2x minus 1. Let's start with the x-intercept. Put y equal to 0. We'd have a 0 here equals -2x minus 1. Isolate x. Start by adding 1 on both sides. And now divide each side by -2. I've got x equal to -1/2. And on a test, I will probably ask for you to write your answer as a point. So the intercept would be x first, -1/2, followed by y, which we put equal to 0. Oh, I'm sorry, that's just one piece. Let's put it over here. -1/2, 0 is one of the intercepts. Yeah, so for x-intercept, you choose y equals 0 and then solve for x. And for the y-intercept, we place x equal to 0 and solve for y. So kind of flip-flop. For x-intercept, y equals 0. For y-intercept, x equals 0. Then back to the original equation. It's y equal to -2x minus 1. So we're going to have y equal to -2 times 0. And solve for y. This is going to be 0 minus 1, so y equals -1. Okay, so the y-intercept is 0 for x, -1 for y. We're going to sketch a graph. So to draw a line, we can use these 2 points and then connect them. So we found -1/2, 0, which we're going to need units. Here's -1/2, 0. And our other intercept on the y-axis was 0, -1. And do your best to draw a straight line through those 2 points. Let's do another example about intercepts. Some questions might say, find all intercepts. Or 3x plus 2y equal to 6. Or maybe of. I also forgot to mention that an intercept is a place where the line crosses an axis, and there's an x-axis or a y-axis. So there's only two intercepts to find. There's the x-intercept and the y-intercept. For the x-intercept, you choose y equal to 0. That makes the equation 3x and 2 times 0 equal to 6. That would be 3x equals 6. This will be 0. Divide both sides by 3. I have x equal to 2. The x-intercept is 2, 0. Next one is the y-intercept. And in that case, put x equal to 0. Three times 0, add 2y, and it's equal to 6. Three times 0 is going to be 0. So if you have 2y equal to 6, you can divide each side by 2 and get y equals 3. Y-intercept is x is 0, y is 3. 0, 3. Next, we want to talk about the slope of a line. For slope, we use lowercase m. Oh, we need some more information. The slope of a line that passes through the points. I'm going to call the first point x sub 1 and y sub 1. The other point is going to be x sub 2, y sub 2. That lowercase m. And you take the difference in y values, divide by the difference in x values. y1, subtract y2. And then the subscripts match. So x sub 1 subtract x sub 2. And you can get the same answer if you start with y2 and minus y1, but again, this subscripts have to match. You can do y2 minus y1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. We will find the slope of the line that goes through -2, 6 and 5, 7. Let's start with some labels. I'm going to call this the first point, and this is my x1 value, and this is y1. And over here is going to be x2 sub 2. The slope is lowercase m, and we'll take y1 minus y2 divide by x1 minus x2. We're going to have 6 and subtract 7 over -2 minus 5. Here's a -1, and it's divided by -7. So the slope is positive 1 over 7. Find the slope of the line that goes through 0, -12, and -2, 4. All right, I'm going to find the slope twice, just to show you that you can use either either of the formulas I showed you before and get the same answer. Okay, here's x1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. We're going to try the slope equals y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. Negative 12, subtract 4. Divide by 0 minus negative 2. It's negative 12, even further negative, 4 more units. We're at negative 16. And then 0 plus 2 gives a slope of negative 8. So I'm using all the same labels. This is still x1, y1, x2, y2. And I'm just going to show you that we can find the slope using y sub 2 minus y sub 1. And over y sub 2, you need x sub 2. Subtract x sub 1. This time I've got negative 12 minus 4. Oh wait, that's the same thing. Okay. Y sub 2 is 4. Okay, we're going to 4 minus the other value of negative 12. There we go. X sub 2. Is negative 2. Minus 0. Or plus 12. Over negative 2. And that's going to be 16 divided by negative 2. There's this negative sign in the denominator, which makes this whole number negative. And then 16 divided by 2 is 8. Let's see. I'm going to just make sure. I think I missed a little bit of work last time. So we'll factor 16. It's 2 times 8. And this is over 2. 2 over 2 reduces to 1. And the slope is negative 8. So it's just another way to get the same answer. I see that I missed a question, so I'll try to keep an eye out next time for questions as they appear. All right, moving on to equations of a line. There's 2 forms that I like to use. My favorite one is y equals mx plus b. use that to write the equation of the line. You have to find that number m, and you have to figure out what this number is, b. M is called the slope. B is called the y-intercept. Because if you remember in your y-intercept, you put x equal to 0. If there's a 0 here, this number is gone and you get y equals b. And that's why we're going to call that b, the y-intercept. Okay, I want to show you the point slope form for the equation of a line. We'll do an example using that one, but then we're going to come back to mostly y equals mx plus b. It's called point slope form of the equation of a line. Through the point x sub 1, y sub 1. Is y minus y1 equal to m, the slope, times x minus x1. Find the equation of the line. With slope m equal to 5. And goes through the point 9, negative 3. And that's it. Okay, so this time we're going to practice this point slope form. Label your point. First is x. We're calling it x sub 1, and we're going to call this y sub 1. And you have your slope as well. Okay, so you take y minus y1, which is equal to -3, equal to the slope of 5 multiplied with x minus 9. And usually a line is written with y on one side and then your x value followed by that number. So we're going to isolate y. Let's start with this. Distribute 5 here and here, 5x minus 45. And subtract 3, subtract 3. Oh, hang on a second. I think I mixed up some problems, but as long as you guys haven't seen any mistakes, I'm pretty sure we've done all of the right work. Yeah, we have a slope 5, cool. We've got our point in the right spot. Let's keep doing this. I just realized I made up a problem that's not in my notes, but we've been doing the right thing so far. So y equals 5x minus 48. That's our line. Right there. Okay, let's try another one. And again, I guess I'm gonna we'll try making something up. The line with slope of 1/3 and goes through let's do 12/9. Okay, I'm going to try that point slope form. We have y minus y1, and also this is x1, that's y1. So start with y subtract 9 equal to the slope of 1/3 multiplied with x minus x1. We've got x subtract 12. Distribute 1/3 to both of those two terms, x and -12. I minus 9 equal to 1/3 x, and 1/3 times -12 is going to be -4. And we're going to isolate y. So just add 9 to both sides and we'll be done. I've got y equal to 1/3 x plus 5. Okay, let's do the equation of a line. We're gonna do a similar kind of setup. We're gonna know the slope and a point, but instead of point slope form, we'll use y equals mx plus b. Our line will have a slope of we're going to choose -3/5. And goes through. Zero, 10. Okay, I like to use y equals mx plus b. So let's see how that goes. I know what m is, it's -3/5. Okay, I need to know what b is, and I can use that point where x is 0 and y is 10. Okay, 0 and 10, 10 for y. And over here, this is nice and easy. Any number times 0 is going to be 0. So I have b equals 10. So for y equals mx plus b, we have y equal to -3/5 x plus 10. So usually you aren't given the slope, like most questions will give you 2 points, which means you use those points to find the slope, and then you use one of the equations to find the line. And I like to use y equals mx plus b. Find the line that goes through 0, -4, and 5, 2. So I'm going to use y equals mx plus b. And I need to find m and b. Okay, the slope is the difference in your y values divided by a difference in x values. We can use y1 minus y2 divided by x1 minus x2. Let's call this y1. Oh, it's xy. So this has to be x1 and then y1. And here is x sub 2. And this is going to be y sub 2. Start with y1, which is -4. Subtract y sub 2. Divided by 0. -5. -4 over to -6. It's over -5. And that negative with that negative makes this a positive 6/5. Okay, we've got the slope. Y equals 6/5 x plus b. To solve for b, you plug in an x and y. You can pick x and y from that point, or you can pick x and y from this point. Either way, you'll get that same number for b. When there's a 0, I like to pick that point. It's going to be nice and easy to work with. So here's my x value. This is going to be y. So -4 equal to 6/5 multiplied with 0 plus b. 0 times the number is 0. And then I'll have -4 equal to b. So y equals 6/5 x plus -4, which is y equal to 6/5 x, and then subtract. We're going to find the equation of the line. That passes through the points. I'm gonna pick some points. -8 at let's do this. -10, -13. And -2, -5. I like to use y equals mx plus b. But you need to find m, and you need to solve for b. let's call this x sub 1 and y sub 1. Up here, x sub 2, y sub 2. So start with difference in y values, y1 minus y2. Divide by x1 minus x2. It's negative 13 minus negative 5. Over negative 10 minus negative 2. Negative 13 plus 5. And negative 10 plus 2. We're still working on the slope. Negative 13 plus 5 is going to be negative 8. Negative 10 plus 2 is negative 8. The number over itself is going to be 1. So y equals 1x plus b. Which means y equals x plus b. And I need to know what b is. Let's just use this point here. I've got x is negative 2 and y equal to negative 5. Negative 5 would be equal to negative 2 plus b. We're solving for b. And I have b equal to negative 3. Y equals x minus 3. Let's talk about parallel lines and perpendicular lines. So parallel lines have the same slope. Okay, let m be a non-zero number. Then y equals mx plus b. perpendicular to. Okay, maybe this is some other number that's not B. We're going to call it C. It just represents a number. The focus is that the slope of this line has a negative reciprocal of the slope of the perpendicular line. Find the equation of the line that is parallel to y equals 2x minus 3. And goes through the point 4, 7. For a parallel line, you need to use the same slope. M equal to 2. And you can use point slope form or y equals mx plus b. I like the y equal to mx plus b. And I already know what m is, it's 2. So I just need to figure out what b would be. And I can use the point with x equal to 4, y equals 7. Okay, so I'm here with 7 equal to 2 times 4, add b. 7 equals 8 plus b. I got -1 equal to b. And my line would be y equals 2x minus 1. Okay, find the line that is perpendicular to y equals 3x plus 7. And it goes through 0, 9. For perpendicular, we're going to take the negative reciprocal for the slope of our line. The negative reciprocal of 3, which we're going to put 3 over 1, would be negative 1/3. Okay, so I use that part to get the correct slope. And now we're going to use the point in y equals mx plus b. This is x, this is y. Nine equals 1/3, which I could put right here. Oh. Don't forget that negative sign, which I almost did. Multiplied with 0 plus b. This is 0. And I have 9 equal to b. And the perpendicular line is y equals negative 1/3 x plus 9. Let's do one more about perpendicular lines. So find the line that is perpendicular to y equal to negative 1/2 x plus 4. And this line will also go through the point let's do -5, -1. And let's see what happens. I want to talk about the slope first. So it's perpendicular. Which makes the slope the negative reciprocal of the slope from my given line. So the negative of negative 1/2 is positive. Then take the reciprocal. It should be 2 over 1. So I'm going to use a slope of 2. So I'm just going to write a reminder of why I did that, I guess. So if a line has slope m, then a perpendicular line would need to have a slope of, let's see, the perpendicular line has a slope of, it's a different slope. So what people usually do is do m, and then they do like a subscript, like this, and this shape means perpendicular. So the slope of the perpendicular line is the negative of 1 over m. Okay, so just I took down that we were using this point, and I just want to kind of go back to the slope we had. It was negative 1/2. So the perpendicular line needs a slope of, we're calling it m, and it's a subscript with this perpendicular symbol. So m, the slope of the perpendicular line, is negative 1 over negative 1/2. The negative and negative makes a positive, and 1 multiplied by the reciprocal of the denominator. Okay, so we're at y equals 2x plus b. And I had a point. -5, -1. This is my x, and this is y. -1 would be equal to 2 times -5 plus b. -1 equal to -10 plus b, and we're going to add 10 to each side. And that will give us b. So my line is y equals 2x plus 9. Cool. So we're going to call that good for today. On Tuesday, I am going to talk a little bit about how to graph lines, and there's a few different ways. Also, if you have any questions on your homework, we can do those in class. Just let me know.